Hi there, this is a short routine put together for a couple of my friends, Edward and Amanda, so I hope you enjoy practicing this. But anyone can do it. It's mainly working out the whole body with a little bit of an emphasis on the thoracic spine. Start off standing. You want to be toward the back of your mat. And then just check out how you're standing, feet hip distance. Bring some weight evenly through the feet, so some weight in the heel of the foot, some weight in the ball of the foot. Get the tailbone of your spine to reach toward the ground as you feel a gentle lift in the abdominal area. Roll the shoulder heads back a little and reach down toward the fingertips. Gaze straight forwards. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower the chin toward the chest. Soften your knees a little. And as you scoop the belly in, roll your spine down. Let your head and arms dangle heavily. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale as you roll back up again. Pulling up through the belly to begin with. And then as you roll up, roll the shoulders back. Lift the head, look straight forwards, inhale. Exhale, lower the chin toward the chest. Soften your knees. So if your back, or your lower back in particular, is tender, you'll bend your knees more. Pull from the belly as you begin to roll back up again. And then after the belly's pulled you up, then begin to lift through the upper back, then the head, shoulders roll back. You're going to lift your arms up this time, and as you lift your arms up, lift the chest to look toward the hands. Open the arms, look down, and then roll the spine down again, bending your knees if necessary. Get a nice stretch at the bottom of the roll down, and then begin to pull back up through the belly. As you roll up, open the arms, look up toward the hands, and a little upper back bend as your chest looks upwards. Open the arms, look down, and we're going to stay down this time. So feel that nice stretch in the back of the legs. Try lifting your sit bones toward the ceiling. Keep that even weight through the soles of the feet. Pull through the belly, begin rolling your spine back up. And then inhale, lift the arms, look up. Interlace your hands and bring the hands behind the head. So I'm just going to turn around to face you. Keep the elbows nice and wide. Keep your pelvis stationary and take a little side bend toward your right. And then come back up again to centre. So try and pivot from the centre of the chest. So as you take your side bend over, you get a minimal movement in the pelvic area. Inhaling up and exhaling over. Inhaling up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Try and keep the weight even through your feet. Exhale. Pivot from the centre of the chest. Keep the elbows nice and wide. Inhale up. Exhale over. One more each way. Inhale up. As though someone's just gently pressing the inner edge of your elbows back. Keep them back. Feel this opening out the sides of your waist as well as mobilising your upper back. And then inhale up. Exhale, arms out in front of you. Relax your shoulders. Inhale. Twist towards your right by bending your right elbow toward the wall behind you. And then inhale back to centre, arms in front. And then bend your left elbow, twisting your chest toward the left. Inhale, centre. So again, we want to try and keep the feet stable and your pelvis stationary. So as your elbow reaches to the wall behind you, so my left elbow this time, can you push your left hip forwards? Inhale, centre. As you go to the right, feel your right hip pushing forwards as you twist to the right. So actually the hips aren't moving anywhere, but through the action of trying to push the hip forwards, it prevents your pelvis turning with you. So actually we're just keeping both hips facing forwards, one more each way. You might imagine someone's holding on to the sides of your pelvis and holding it stationary as you twist more through the mid and upper back. And then arms lower down, lower the chin towards your chest and go into one more roll down. And then at the bottom of the roll down this time, come onto your hands and knees. We're going into threading the needle. So if you can open your right arm, turn your chest toward the right, try and keep your hips stationary. And then thread your right arm under, bending your left elbow. Inhale as you open, nice wide span of your arms. Exhale, thread the arm through. One more on this side. Inhale as you open. Exhale, thread the arm through. Inhale back to centre. Exhale, place the right hand down. Left arm opens. Inhale, turn your chest. Exhale, thread the arm through. You're using your right arm, the supporting one, like a push-up arm. So try and keep that palm nice and flat on the floor. And when you bend your elbow, try and keep the elbow pointing upward toward the ceiling. One more. Both knees staying on the ground. And then back to centre. Sit the bottom down toward the heels and reach the arms in front. Child's pose with the arms extended. Try scooping the palms up off the floor so you're just on your fingertips. And then turn the outer edge of your armpits toward the floor. Try feeling your chest sink a bit further back into your thighs. Nice around the shoulder blades, that one. So you're coming down onto your side, doesn't matter which side, we'll do both sides. Rest your head on your arm, stack your hips. And what we like to try and get is an even curve in the spine. So if you feel the bottom curve of your spine is collapsing to the floor, then just try and lift up the side of the rib cage a little away from the ground. Find your balance point, use the fingertips on the floor for support as you lift the legs. And then if you're balanced evenly here, you can take your arm off the floor onto your side, or even better still, take your arm up in the air if possible. Flex your feet so the toes point forwards and lift the top leg up as you inhale, lower down as you exhale. Lift up as you inhale, lower down as you exhale. 5 more, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. 3. As the leg lifts, I'm still keeping the under curve of my waist off the ground. And you want to feel like you're pushing your leg through thick air, like there's a little bit of resistance in the air. Can you lift your leg and keep it lifted this time? Just 5 breaths there. Reach long from your hips, through the thigh bones, through your knees, shins, to your flexed ankles. 2 more breaths. And then when you lower down, bend the bottom leg for a little bit of balance. Take hold of your top ankle, roll your shoulder back, and stretch the front of your thigh. Try and keep that knee pointing away from you, the bent knee. And the little lift in your abdominal area like you did when you were standing at the beginning. As you release that leg, bring the legs into what's called a mermaid pose. So we've got the knee and foot together. And then take a mermaid stretch, but we're going to bring the hand round behind the head. Lift more from the elbow. If you struggle to sit with the legs in this position, then it's fine to do this with the legs in front. So instead, lifting up with the elbow in the air. Legs out to the side just gives you a little bit more extension through the side of the body. Good, elbow pressing back. Really rooting down into the hip on the floor to lift the elbow further away from that hip. And then release your arm, bring the arm down, switch the legs over to the other side. Head resting on your arm. Find your balance point on the side of the shoulder, the hips stacked, little curve in the underside of the waist, so you might be able to slide your hand underneath. Use your fingertips for balance as you lift the legs. I like to just look down and check sometimes that my legs are in the right place. And sometimes by looking, you can see where you might be positioning yourself a little out of line. Generally speaking, we want to see the toes when the feet are flexed. But if you've got a bit more up front, then maybe that's not possible. But you imagine the line as you look down, you could see your toes. So arm in the air if you can. Inhale as you lift the top leg. Exhale as you lower. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower. Remember that thick air, you're trying to press the leg through. And when your leg lifts, 5 more, we're keeping the hips stacked on top of each other. So the leg is lifting without rolling the pelvis back. 3. 2 more. You'll generally find one side much easier to balance on than the other. And then we're going to lift the leg and hold it lifted for 5 breaths. Again, lengthen. So imagine you're at the tailbone end of your spine trying to reach down between your heels. So be long through the tailbone of your spine, long through your hips, your thighs, your knees, your shins. Flex the ankles, push away through the heels. 2 more breaths. pressing some energy through the legs. Bend the bottom leg for a little bit of balance, hold on to the top ankle. And if your knee, in fact look down again and check. If your knee looks too high or too low, bring it into position so it's about hip height. Press the knee away from you. Bring a little lift into the abdominal area so you'll actually feel your pubic bone lifting up toward the belly button. Just giving you a nice stretch down the front of the thigh. We bring that round into mermaid stretch on this side, so knee and foot together. Taking the shin that's to the side of you, take your hand onto your shin, lift the other arm up and behind the head. So we have the elbow pressing out wide and then lengthen as you sit heavily down in your hip or in your buttock. Try and lengthen up that side and get the elbow to reach up away from the thoracic side of the spine, opening out the ribs. And then bringing the arm down. And then we just turn around onto the hands and knees. Once you're on your hands and knees, hands in line with the shoulders, straighten one leg out behind, firm that leg strongly, and then just feel your pubic bone move towards your belly again. As you push into your hands, the sides of the rib cage lift a little. Nice and firm and strong there, step back to a plank position. Keep your hands and feet where they are and move from plank into a downward facing dog. Inhale forwards to plank. Look slightly ahead of the hands. Exhale into a downward facing dog. Look between the legs. 3 more. Inhale forwards to plank. Exhale downward facing dog. 2 more. Inhale to plank. Exhale downward facing dog. 1 more. Inhale to plank. Exhale downward facing dog. Walk the hands towards your feet. Pull from the belly and begin rolling your spine up to standing. Pulling up through the belly, rolling your way up. Rolling the shoulder heads down. Stand firmly into your right leg, catch hold of the left ankle. Press the knee down toward the floor and bring your right arm in front. Flex the toes toward the ground and again just feel that stretch down the front of the thigh. Open out the chest. Take a stride forwards with that right leg and then lift the back heel off the ground, both arms in front. Place your palms to face the floor and then push your arms back as if you're pushing through thick air. Lean forward so you're in line with your back leg. And then keep lifting the back leg off the ground as you lean forwards from your standing hip. Balancing here, so you want to push up through the back of the leg. Push the palms toward the ceiling. Roll your shoulder heads back. And then come back down with the back leg. Step the feet to the back of the mat again. Begin to move on to the other side. So we're balancing in the left leg, catching hold of your right ankle. Bring the left arm in front, roll the right shoulder back. The same feeling in the front of the leg as you had when you were lying on your side, catching hold of the ankle. As you release that leg, step forwards, both arms in front, turn the palms to the floor. Lift the back heel so you bring your weight more into your front leg. Start pressing the arms back, feel an invisible resistance, and as you continue to press just behind the line of the body, roll the shoulders back. Lean forward, so as you bend forwards at your hip, your back leg lifts, your palms press toward the ceiling. Roll your shoulders back, open the chest, look slightly forwards. Press with energy through that back leg. And then take a stride back to the back of the mat. Step back again, and then you're going to come down to sitting. So we're going to need a stretchy band and a couple of balls if you've got them. You can do this with a tin of something instead of balls if you don't have any. Hands in a prayer position and begin to sit down. So if you need to use your hands at any point, then do. If you don't need to use your hands, see if you can come to sitting without the use of your hands, lowering your bottom carefully to the ground and then rolling down onto your back. If you needed to use your arms there, please do, rather than falling and hurting yourself. And then we're just going to, as you lay on your back, have your knees bent. Feel as though the sides of your pelvis and the sides of your rib cage are just being gently drawn toward the ground. And as if you can feel them drawing toward the ground, you'll feel the back of the body make what's called an imprint. So you're feeling like muscles of your body are keeping you firmly connected to the ground. Keep that. Rest your hands on your tummy. Open your knees wide apart. But I want you to do this with a careful awareness of not letting the side of your body lift. and then close the knees back together again. Open the knees, inhaling. Close the knees, exhaling. Just a couple more of those. These are nice and easy, but they're really good at building awareness of what you're doing with your body. So can you open your legs without adjusting the position of your spine and the imprint of your back? And then when your legs come back together, pause there. You want the balls just to be either side of you. Hands come back onto your tummy again. Fold your right leg into a single knee fold. Fold the left leg into a double knee fold. Inhale, your legs open, knees and feet apart. Exhale, your legs close, knees and feet connect. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you close. One more of those. Again, check you can manage this without your back lifting. If it's lifting a long way when your legs open, go back to feet on the floor. Take the balls, hold them straight up above your chest. As your legs open, open your arms wide so the back of the hands almost rest on the ground, and then close back together again. Inhale as you open, careful not to lift the sides of your body. Exhale as you close. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you close. One more of those. Inhale as you open. Exhale, close. And changing the arms, but keep the legs going. Inhale, take the arms behind, keep the balls touching. And then exhale, bring your arms forwards and let the balls just gently touch the knees. As your arms go back, keep the ribs down. So notice if the back of your rib cage lifts any higher when the arms go back. At the point where the ribs start to lift, that's just a little bit too far. So we want to keep the back of the body in its imprint. Imagine you're lying on a bed of sand or a bed of plasticine, and you're trying not to change the shape of your back as your arms and legs move. One more of those. Inhale as you go back. And exhale, lift your head and shoulders, bring your arms down, pop the balls to the side. Inhale, 5 beats, palms down. Exhale, 5 beats, flip the palms up. 9 more breaths. Inhale, try and feel the breath in the upper back area. So it's like the breath provides a wedge to keep you lifted. 8 more breaths. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 more breaths. So in this position, if you feel like your lower back is struggling and it's all in your groins, then you want to put either one or both feet back down to the floor. 3 more breaths. One more breath. At the end of your exhale, lower your head and arms down to the floor. Keep the imprint of your spine. And then lower the feet. Keep the imprint of your spine as your feet land gently to the ground. Once both feet are down, then relax. Bring one knee into your chest, straighten the other leg away. Take the knee diagonally over the body and look out to your right arm. So I've got hold of my right knee, so I'm looking out to my right arm. Come back into centre. Keep hold of this knee, bring the other knee in as well. So now I'm going to keep hold of my left and straighten my right leg. Take the knee over, so you're going to look out to your left arm. Come back into centre, both feet flat on the floor, arms down by your side. No need for those balls now. Press down into the feet and roll your hips up into a shoulder bridge. So you're going to lift sequentially through the vertebra of the spine. Stop when you feel you're flat across your shoulder blades. Press evenly into your feet so your legs feel parallel, and then roll the spine back down again. Inhale as you get to the bottom. Exhale as you roll your spine up. Inhale, feel your knees and your thighs reach away. Exhale as you roll your spine back down. Inhale at the ground. Exhale, rolling up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, rolling down. One more, we're going to stay at the top this time. So as you roll up, stay lifted. Point the fingertips to the ceiling, press into the back of your arms and lift your rib cage up higher. Once you've lifted your rib cage up higher, place the palms flat down to the floor. Press into the back of your shoulders, the back of your arms, the forearms, the palms and your feet. So all your areas on the floor are pressing into the ground to lift the sides of your hips, to lift the sides of your rib cage. Try not to let your legs go any wider. Release your arms a bit wider so it gives you space to roll your spine down. Bring the knees into the chest. Take your stretchy band and pop it around your right foot. Straighten your right leg in the air. Try and keep your bottom grounded, and the leg that's up in the air, maybe think about letting the thigh bone sink into the hip socket. So there's a grounding effect even though the leg is lifting up in the air. Ease the leg back just through the gentle persuasion of the weight of the arms pulling on the band. We're going to cross this ankle onto the opposite knee, so right ankle onto left knee, and then see if you can bring the left leg towards you. Keep your right foot flexed. Often the back of the body arches off the ground here, so some people need something underneath their head to keep the head in line. Think chin and forehead want to be level with each other. Release the left foot down. Hug the right knee into your chest, right foot to the floor, band around your left foot, left leg in the air. Again, once you've got the leg up in the air, allow the leg to sink into the hip socket. Feel like it's just the hip socket softens and your thigh bone is welcomed to sink down. Once you've got that, you can just gently persuade that leg to come back a little further if you feel you have that available. If you try and pull the leg back and there's a real strong resistance and the rest of your body has to move to bring the leg further back, then you're probably fine just where you are. Take a couple more breaths, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the lips. Take the band off and place the ankle onto your right thigh. Bring the right leg towards you. Try rolling the shoulders toward the floor. Keep the chin slightly tucked. We really want to keep that length in the tailbone as well. So if the tailbone of the spine feels like it's rounded a long way off the ground, just get it to feel like it's really reaching long, stretching down toward the bottom end of the mat. Return the right foot to the floor, hug the left knee in. Both feet down, hands on your tummy. Take a nice deep breath in. A long breath out. Again, a nice deep breath in, feel the abdomen rise. Feel your chest fill. And a long breath out until it feels like most of the breath is gone. Place the feet wide on the mat, open your arms wide, rock the knees a few times side to side. And then roll all the way over to one side, push into your hands, make your way up to sitting. Good, well done, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.